My name is Bri. I'm the owner and artist of Upcycled by Bri, and today I've got for you a nice medium-sized thrift haul. If you were here with me last week, it was huge. This week is more reasonable, and then we'll do a little painting at the end. So as you hop on, say hello, let me know who you are, where you're watching from. All the junk you see in front of me is already loaded up on my site, upcycledbybri.com, and the Shop the Haul collection. Now I dropped that in the description box and in the live chat, but if you need any specific links, y'all just let me know. I'll be happy to grab them. Okay, I've got live chat pulled up right here. If you see me looking down, as I clear some area, I will move it here in front of me. So I actually had to go shopping 4 times to get this table full of stuff. One of the stores I went to accidentally double charged me, so then I had to go back a couple days later to get that reversed, and I ended up picking up a few more things while I was there. So it worked, but I ended up getting a nice mix of things. I'm going to tilt the camera down just a little bit here so y'all can see the junk better. That's better. Okay, so here on this side, I went out to Charlie's again. It's a really fun thrift store here in Topeka, and I find a lot of really good like industrial farmhouse stuff there. Let's start with these little guys. I'm actually going to be doing a DIY with these coming up this week. I started filming the video already, so it'll probably be up Monday, maybe Tuesday. But I picked these up. They were, I don't know, $1 a piece or so. Hey, Shelly. And I have a really, really fun idea with these. So if you have any guesses what I'm going to make these into, drop them in the comments. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till that edited video. But y'all know I love the metal. Those screamed like industrial to me, so I grabbed them. Okay, so this is one of my favorite finds from the week, for sure. I had to look this one up. I thought it was some kind of like boiling pot for over the fire originally, but I started doing some research into it, and this is actually an antique well bucket, an iron well bucket, and the thing I love the most on it is this repair. So y'all know with my decor boards and a lot of my wooden projects, I do some faux repairs, but that one has a real repair on it, and I am just like in love. Some of the stuff out at Charlie's isn't always priced, so we did a little bit of like haggling on a couple things. Everything averaged out to about $2.50 an item. They were running a 25% off sale, so specific prices on everything I don't really remember, but we averaged it this week. And I have this well bucket up at $39.95. Very, very cool. I've got 16 people on and nobody's saying good morning. Who else here? Also from Charlie's is this beautiful copper vase. And the thing I really liked about it is that the handles aren't actually even attached. They're like free hanging handles there. I love the shape on it. And it's hammered copper. There's Shelly McDaniels, good morning. Hammered copper, so I picked it up for sure. You all know I love the copper. $19.95 on this one, and I have the sizes in the description if you guys are wanting to know how big things are. There, now everybody's talking. Hey, Lacey and Susan. We've got Nebraska and Arizona in the house. The weather dropped drastically. It was almost 60 degrees yesterday, and now it's like 30. I wish I was in Arizona right now. I picked up another polish brush. Always grab these when I see them. This one has got a great wood patina on it. You can tell it's been used and loved over the years. $8.95 on these is usually what I mark them unless they're fancy. And I love to stick like old pictures in these. If you have a booth, you can put little postcards or stickers even, your business cards. Hey, Jamie Ray, how are you? Miss Jane Brown is here. Hello, hello. A little later on this Saturday morning, I wondered how this time would do, so I'm glad to see everybody hopping on. Okay, I picked up some more bottles. I've been finding a lot of bottles lately. I stuck these in a bag because I haven't cleaned them out yet. This one is an Old Bitters bottle, but look at the advertising on that label. And when I clean this one out, I'll be very careful not to mess up that paper advertising label. Kind of got it down to a science. And this one still has medicine in it. So I'll get rid of that before I ship. But just some great advertising. I marked these as a set of 3. sell them as a little set. I think they're up at $14.95. And then this one is actually a metal tin, but again, some great, great advertising on it. I think a lot of the bottles from last week have sold already, but there might be a couple up still. What you do with the light, oh, Jane's excited to see what I do with the light cages. Yes, it's gonna be cute, Jane. I figured those would catch your attention. Morning, Jessica and Nancy. Okay, I found so many tiny things this week, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna quit buying tiny things because to buy something very little and to take a picture and to list it, is it really worth my time? Probably not, but I love tiny things. So we're just gonna keep doing it. This is a tiny baseball bat, and it actually had like a grill utensil sticking out the end of it, a fork, but I didn't want the fork on it, so I kept the bat. And a tiny hand carved star, right? Like, I just can't pass these things up. Actually, out at Charlie's, I found a whole container of tiny things and bought them all. It had some of these, like, old calendar months on it. I didn't list these because I'm going to use these for a DIY too. How many tiny things can I have in my hands at once? So I thought these would be perfect. There's only like 10 of them. I'm missing a couple of months. But if I just take them and flip them around, now I've got this perfect little plaque that I can use to label organizational boxes or drawers. And with January coming up, the organizing is going to be real. Jamie loves tiny things too. Okay, thank you for justifying that. And they are easier to ship, for sure. And I've got my listing down. I'm quick now. I am. Okay, I put up a short yesterday. I put it on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and I was like, oh, what the heck is this, y'all? I had no clue. Apparently, it is the part that goes on the glass insulators that we all love and decorate with. So this was like the grounding part of an electrical insulator. I had a couple of fun answers. Somebody said it's for the hole in the bucket, dear Liza. That was a good one. Somebody thought it was for honey. That was a smart one, but it's an electrical insulator. I have it up at $12.95. It is so cool. And how fun would this be sticking out of a glass jar or in an old crock? Add some height and some texture to your vignettes for sure. I want to know though, like maybe the glass insulator probably sat on top of the wood piece, right? I need to research. I need to see how that all worked. Okay. Another store I went to is Major Thrift. It is right around the corner from me. They're 20% off on Sundays, and then I had to go back a second time because of a payment error. But at the Major Thrift this week, I found this amazing jar. It was full of some greenery and lemons, which I just took out. We're gonna save those for springtime. And this would be perfect for, say, Christmas ornaments, cookies, all the things. What do you all like to put in your apothecary jars when you decorate? This one is huge. I'm afraid to pick it up too many times. I don't want to drop it. I paid around $6 for it after the 20% off discount. So not too bad. It is a nice thick one too. And I have it up at $39.95. It'll be a little tricky to ship, but I know a lot of times y'all can't find the apothecary jars. That's what I hear. So I couldn't pass up that huge one. I thought about keeping it. Then also at Major Thrift, I picked up one candlestick because I had one lonely candlestick that needed a friend. And I actually painted these up already. I finished one on a Facebook Live the other day, and my whole process for these will be on the Thrift, the edited video too. But this one was like a silver leafed, white painted candlestick, and this one was just wood. I painted them both up with DIY Apothecary and then added some of the thrifted wood rounds to the top, which made the top of them substantially bigger. I'll paint the bottom before I ship it. Made the top of it substantially bigger. That way you can fit a lot more decor on it. I like to call these candle stands instead of candlesticks, and the pair of them is up at $69.95. I just love grabbing different type items, painting them up, and making them match. It's amazing what a little paint will do. Okay, These got quite the amount of comments already. I have them on my thumbnail. I kind of went like, so you know, industrial farmhouse is my thing. As the week went on, it was kind of becoming more like French country, but that's okay because going from Christmas time with like red and green and all that color and moving more into January and winter, I love to decorate with white. And also angels. Angels I think are a great transitional item from Christmas into winter decor. So these two caught my eye. They were $3.99 each. I'm selling them as a pair because they obviously have to go together. Now, this one has the tiniest little break on the rose right here in the back. It is listed on the description, but from the front you can't even tell. I almost didn't get them because of that, but I just couldn't pass them up. So I'll take a little 220 grit sandpaper, look at her little tush, and make sure that's not sharp before I ship it out. But this one looks very disappointed. I put up on my personal Facebook story yesterday, I feel like this is what my guardian angel looks like most of the time. Gotcha, Jane. Jane is telling me how the insulators worked. I figured you would know. You're like my little industrial farmhouse guru. The angels, gosh darn it, I didn't put a sticker on. Yes, I did. $26.95 for the pair. But I just love them. They've got the greatest coloring to their little flowers and their leaves. And then there's a little tiny bit of blue that goes through their wings as well. Okay, cool. Jamie and Zeb also say that I'm correct. Whoops, on the insulator thing. Easy, hush. Food's here. I figured that would happen. I shouldn't open the blinds. Okay, I also grabbed this little Santa flower sack. It's obviously, or sugar sack, not filled with real sugar. It's got some beads in the bottom and some fluff, but I loved the picture on it. I loved the muted tones of the red and the green, and it's just cute. Just cute. $8.95 for the sugar sack. This one came from the Giving Tree. I ran by there to pick up a few boxes for shipping, and I shopped while I was there as well. Okay, cool. Everybody, oops, is answering about the insulator thing. I love that I can just put an item up on my stories now and I get so many answers. It's like almost faster than trying to Google it myself. I almost kept this too to go up on my shelves in the kitchen, but they're full. I need more shelves. Oh, okay. This also came, and I said I was going to quit. I said I was done with Christmas. Done buying Christmas. But I'm not. I wasn't. I found this. I couldn't pass it up. It was only $3.50 at the Giving Tree after my discount. And I have it up at $19.95. But that is a hand-carved Santa. He is a great-looking Santa, and the colors on him are really good, too. And I love decorating with these little sleds. They hang great on the wall. You can throw a little bit of greenery over them. And then this one you wouldn't be able to turn upside down, but you can also turn them upside down, and they make great little display pieces for towels and stuff that way too. But it was wood, it was hand carved, and I couldn't pass it up. Okay, a few baskets. These all came from the Giving Tree. They're all hanging baskets. Can't pass up the hanging baskets. This one, I don't usually see them round shaped when they hang like that, so that one was interesting. $10.95 on that guy. Then this one, the combination of the grapevine and the chicken wire. Couldn't resist myself on that. This one is also $10.95. I paid $1.35 for each. And then this one is really cool. A little more boho, right? But I loved the shape of it. It would look great with one of the string of pearl succulents hanging out of it, or something tall. Basket problems. $12.95 on this one because it's a little fancier. But is that all the baskets? That's all the baskets I bought this week. That's not bad, and they're little. They don't take up too much room. Now, as we move into January and organizing all of the junk season, I will be buying more baskets probably. Oh, Nancy said she likes to hang baskets on her doorknobs. That's smart. Very clever. Try that out. Okay, I found 2 of these little, I call them single stem vases, but also Lorraine just said that they'd be great for propagating plants. I loved how dainty this one was. It's got just the cutest little tiny wire holder on the bottom, and it is attached. $10.95 on this one. I think these came from Charlie's. I don't remember. It's all, oh no, this one came from the Giving Tree. This one is listed to be painted too. The paint job on it is just like that meh distressed. I think we can do way better. We'll paint it a color and do some dark wax or black wax down in all of those little details. It'll be great. But again, moving, I know Christmas isn't even here. I know it's not here, but I've got to think ahead a little bit. So moving into springtime, these will look so pretty with a little lavender sprig or some peonies. Let me move some of this glass stuff out of my way so I don't break it. We got a cow creamer. I always pick these up when I see him. I paid $4 on him, and he is up at $12.95. No markings on this one, so I think it's a little bit older, but it's kind of hard to tell. Love the cow creamers. They always sell really well for me, too. I just sold out. I had 3 little bunny creamers, and they all just sold within the last couple of weeks. So I figured I better hunt for some more. Oh, and speaking of bunnies, this bunny was very popular in comments on my sneak peeks. She is very nonchalant, just hanging out, relaxing. I love her. Hey, Tracy from Topeka, how are you? It's cold today. What happened? Yesterday was so nice. It's been windy as heck here, though. Hey, good morning, Janet. How are you? Susie asked, how do I decide what to keep for my own home? So Susie, it's a little bit easier now because my home is not very big at all. I have kind of transitioned lately here more into like industrial farmhouse decor, where I was very, I don't know, a little more French country before. So I am getting rid of a lot of things and keeping things that are unique, things that maybe I paid up for a little bit. But honestly, I don't know. Like I just keep what I love. And then after a couple of years, I resell it. I'm like looking around at all my stuff and trying to figure out why I kept what I kept. I try to keep the unique things, what I don't find often. If I think I can find it again later, but I know somebody else will love it, then I try not to be too selfish. Anyways, this bunny is $16.95, but I just thought she was just too cute to pass up. And I like that the eyes are lighter and not dark black on the white bunny. I actually listed a bunny last week too, and the two would look great together. Running out of room. Okay, found a rolling pin at Major Thrift. I only paid 70 cents for rolling pins there, so I always grab them when I find them. I have to be painted on the description, and it'll be $12.95 after I get it all painted and waxed up. And I think I'm down to just a couple rolling pins on my website again. They've been selling like crazy again. I found two of these rulers. They were next to each other at the Giving Tree. And I just love the patina on them. You can tell they've been used over and over. I paid around 35 cents for them. I have them up at $3.95. A really nice piece to add into your vignettes if you need something that's going to be really short. Add a little bit of length, add some shape, and then anything with numbers I'm always obsessed with. And I liked that these were the triangle ones, so you can actually see them in a display. They'd also look great sticking up out of a container. Always pick up vintage rulers when I find them. A lot of the times I find the foldy ones, the ones that like open. Don't usually find the triangle ones, so those were new. Okay, this guy I kept. So Susie, I kept this because it's tiny, because it's one of my favorite animals to decorate with, and because I don't usually find tiny grass critters. They're usually a lot bigger. So I'll keep this one at least for a while. And I bought an entire bag off of the bag wall for this one piece. There was some other stuff in there that wasn't the best. I liked these. These were in there as well, and I did list these up at $4.95. The little vintage plastic dove ornaments. I thought those were really cute. But this is the reason I bought the bag, right? He's so cute. He had a little eyelet hook in him and like a string, like he was an ornament. But I just unscrewed that, and now he's sitting up on my mantle. Love it. So it was $5 for that bag of stuff, and I normally wouldn't pay $5 for a tiny little thing this small, but you know. So I don't know, Susie, that's how I decide. It's cute and I want it. Sometimes I do functional things like this. I have curtains. I have 3 matching curtains and 3 windows in here. And I could find my curtain rods, but not the holders. So I've been looking and looking. I'm like, I will find them thrifty. Just this part. And I haven't been able to. So finally I found 3 curtain holders that are the same, and they're ugly as sin. But I know I can paint them and make them better. So sometimes I buy functional things. And I could have just got on Amazon and purchased them. But what's the fun in that? Tracy, questions regarding sales. I have a bonus group that I will be live in this Wednesday. And I do a little bit of like business talk over there. You can check that out. You can also email me and we can chit chat back and forth a little bit. So I'd love to help as much as I can. This bird cage was full of ugly, ugly potpourri. And it did not smell good anymore. So I just went ahead and dumped it out. But the bird cage was adorable. It's chicken wire. It's got that cute little finial top on it. I paid $3 for it, emptied it all out for y'all, and now it is $14.95. This one would look really great mounted on top of a candlestick, like a wooden, not this one in particular, but mounted on something like this. And it would be so easy to do because the bottom comes off to fill it up with stuff. So you could literally just open it up, screw it down to like a candlestick or something, and then you could still fill it up with new decor every season. That's what I would do with it. I wish I had time for all these projects. Yeah, Tracy, I'd love to chat. Okay, let's get that out of the way. How long have we been on? 22 minutes. I need to speed up a little bit. I do want to paint a couple things today. Said I was done with Christmas. These were on the bag wall though, and they are tiny and adorable. I got all 4 for $5, and I listed them up individually. They have these little picture holders on them, so if you wanted to stick a picture or something cute in there, you can. I'm just going to leave them on. Let y'all decide if you want to take them on or off, but they're on some really good wooden bases. So I snagged those up, or if you wanted to take these off and put them on top of some spindles or something, they would be really good size for that as well. Not only do I love tiny things, I love giant things. So when I saw this giant oversized paper clip note holder, it had to come home with me. $6.95 is what I have it listed for, and it is $1. Little things like this I also like to put up on my site in case y'all are wanting some gifts for family and stuff. You want to maybe find something unique, or you know, something that I have you see and it like sparks something in your mind, makes you think of somebody. So it's fun to have these little items up. Copper molds, little baby copper jello molds. There are 6 in this set, and I have them up at $12.95. I did pay $3 for these, paid up a little bit. But these are so good for crafts, and I don't usually find the little copper ones. How cute would this be with a little Christmas tree in it? I also see people make these into ornaments for the tree a lot. Okay. Another tiny thing, this little tiny ring holder. I thought it was glass. It's not, it's plastic, but it's vintage and super cute. $3.95, and that would be great sitting by your bathroom sink. You put your rings on it when you wash your hands or whatever. Or on a vanity. That would be so cute on a vanity. Okay, I need your help with this one too. Is this a votive holder Or is it a candle snuffer? And why does it look like this on the end? I don't know what it was. Now, when I got it, it did have some wax in it. I just used my heat gun, heated the wax up, and got that out. So I'm assuming it was a candle holder. But when I hang it on something, like it hangs crooked. Like I hung it on the side of a box, and then like you see the candle cup is all sideways. So I don't know if y'all know what this was or if it was a part of something. Drop me a comment. Oh, she thought maybe Susie thinks maybe it was to hang on a pew in church. Okay. Maybe so. I have no clue, but it's brass, so I got it. All right, a couple more things I have from, let's do these. This came from Major Thrift too, and it is a vintage cake plate, and it's adorable, first of all, but it also has a wooden knob. So I see a lot of cake plates. I don't buy a lot of them. I don't bake personally. I don't know, do people still use cake plates? It is aluminum and it's still in good shape. It needs washed, but you could still totally use it. And I have it up at $29.95. These were super pricey on Etsy. I was looking them up and they were about double that. This one has, you know, it's not in perfect shape. I think some barkeeper's friend would shine it up really nice. Couldn't pass that. I found 2 Jingle Bell wreaths out at Major Thrift, and they were hideous. I think it was a trend at some point, like a crafting trend, and I think they came from the same house. But I took them apart, and I have got currently the Jingle Bells sitting outside. I'm doing a rusting technique that will also be on my edited video. I did keep the silver ones because they were pretty. So here is a set of 10 silver Jingle Bells. They are 1.5 inches big for $12.95. So that's a really good price. The rusty ones are going to be really cool. And I'm going to use a few of them for myself on a garland on my mantle, but then I'll have some up for sale too. Always love rusting things. It's a fun process. I grabbed this wooden round. Somebody had turned it into a tray. They did a great job, but I think we can update it into something a little more fun. So I have it listed at $39.95, and in the description it says I'm going to add some feet to it. I found some little ball knob feet a couple of weeks ago that are going to be perfect for this. I'm going to leave the handles, but we'll paint something new on it. But for $6 for this big, huge wood round, cannot pass that up. It's got 2 great handles. So if I were to buy a wood round this big, I think they're like $30-ish. Somebody told me once, but they're really expensive. So I always grab those. Those also make great door hangers. This item is also not for sale. I grabbed it at Charlie's for Lorraine because she really likes leather bags. And I thought this one was really cool too. If she didn't want it, I was going to keep it for myself. And I personally would store craft supplies in it. It is an old camera bag though. And I looked it up online. It's a good brand. It's a Belding California saddle leather. And they were going for around $40 or $50. This one is not in perfect condition, so I probably wouldn't have got that much for it, but it was too cool. Too cool not to grab. It's got some great colors. Do I have any photographers? Any photographer friends watching? Photography was never one of my strong suits. I love to take pictures with my iPhone, but I was never great with a camera. Cast iron baking pan here. This is $22.95. Also came from Charlie's. He said that the things I have been buying from him all came from one massive storage unit he cleaned out. A lot of the copper I've been getting from him, a lot of the art stuff. So that's fun. And every time I go in, he's like, yep, you found more from that locker. So I have this one up at $22.95. I listed another really unique one a couple of weeks ago. He just keeps bringing out more and more. Okay, I found an elephant. I found 3 elephants actually. It was the week of elephants, 2 different places. This one was from Major Thrift. It is a little hand-carved wooden elephant wall plaque. I'm not the biggest elephant fan. I decorate more with deer and mice. What else? I've got some cows and chickens, but I've got some elephant lovers. This is $12.95. I paid around $3 for it. This tusk has the tiniest little chip, but you can't tell from the front. Hey, Deborah, I'm glad you're here. I have got out a couple of things to show you. I had a request to be to show the pennies from heaven and the green wax, the teal wax this week, so we're going to use that. Okay, so these elephants, $12.95, and then these little elephants, I'm selling them as a pair. They were in the Tiny Things container I bought from Charlie's. $4.95 for the set. Now, this one has one tusk left, and this one used to have tusks. They don't anymore. You could very easily make tusks for them. Yeah, Jane, that's what I was thinking. Jane said, what a great price on that wooden round. So it's like, even if I don't love what's on the wooden round, I always buy them to repurpose them. Wood is so expensive, and I think, knock on wood, the thrift stores don't really know, because I can always find wooden items for really cheap. Okay, this also came from that storage locker clean out that Charlie did. Well, that's what he does, but from that one specific locker. This was like an old pastel box or something. You can tell like it had, you can see the colors on it. Now, I already started this project for my thrift flip video. This had some really gross old ugly decoupage on it. I just sanded it down. I painted over it with some prairie gray, and then I'm going to decoupage over it with something cooler. But what a fun box. I am not painting the front because the patina of that box is so pretty. I just could not, I couldn't deal with the decoupage job that was inside. He only charged me 99 cents for this, so I grabbed it. And this will be a great storage box if you are an artist, for paintbrushes. Heck, you can put your own pastels and stuff in there. This was in the Tiny Thing container. I don't know why they spoke to me, but they did. They're a bunch of old stamps. There's like 3 D's, a couple of R's, and a W, and an E. So I can't even spell anything with them. But I loved the way they looked. This would totally spell doctor if you wanted to stamp with them. But honestly, I liked the back of them almost even better. I don't know. If you have a printer tray, you could display them in there. Or you could totally just like stencil or do something on there, and they could be a little shelf sitting box. That's the industrial lover in me. $4.95 for the stamps. This old corkscrew caught my eye because of the patina on the wood. Don't know if it would actually still work. I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to find out, but I thought it would be great for a kitchen vignette. $4.95 on the corkscrew. A couple more things here and then we'll paint. This was marked $5. Now, like I said, I kind of averaged everything out from Charlie's, so it made it more reasonable. But it is a milk glass pincushion. Never seen one before. Had to grab it because it's unique. I know I've got some sewing lovers out there. It's got some really like, I don't know, faded paint, and I almost wonder if you used alcohol or something, if you could get that to just come off and be milk glass. But something about the pattern and the print on it caught my eye. Deborah, I have not found any roosters lately. Are you looking for roosters? You're wanting roosters? I have one rooster up on my site currently. He's white. But I could look for more. How big? How big do you want your roosters? This was a game, or is a game, I'm pretty sure. I could have Googled it, but I wanted y'all to tell me instead because I'm lazy. Does anybody know what kind of game this is? I picked it up because it was like 50 cents and I really loved the wood. But I figured somebody knows, and I figured it's probably a fun game. So then I'll look it up. I picked up this random piece of brass. Looks like it was a towel rod holder at one point. One side of it. It was just one piece. But how fun would this be? Mount it to a little piece of wood, or even just screw it into the wall. You can stick a little bit of greenery or a little flower right here, and you can hang a towel or whatever you want, a robe or whatever you want to hang off of it. Oh, Chain, those are your husband's initials. There you go. So I bought a bunch of random stuff this week. I wasn't having a lot of luck in the beginning, and that's kind of when I panic and I'm just like, let's buy this and let's buy that. And then I found a bunch more. But I just thought that was cute. Random piece of brass. Oh, somebody's doing some more shopping. If y'all see something you love, I do suggest buying it fairly quickly. Things go pretty darn fast. And then if you end up placing a second order because you find something else you love, I will combine shipping down as much as I can for you. Oh, Deborah wants the pin cushion. Better go grab it. I feel like that one's going to go pretty quickly, darling. And she collects roosters. All right, I will keep an eye out for more roosters. They usually sell pretty well for me. Okay, this footstool, bench, step stool, whatever you want to call it, I couldn't pass up. It was marked $8 at Charlie's. Again, I averaged. And everything was 25% off too, which was great. But you just can't replicate that good chippy paint. The wood is still in good enough condition. And then I will take just a little bit of Peel Stop. It's a product by Rust-Oleum. Paint over. It dries completely clear and matte. Oop, wow, now we're really shopping. It dries completely clear and matte, but it keeps the paint from peeling off. So if you have old windows that you want to decorate and stuff like that, but you're afraid to put them in your house, you don't want that lead paint to chip, etc., you want to keep this looking like this and you don't want the paint to come off anymore, Peel Stop. It's a great product. So I'll hit this with some Peel Stop before I ship it out. I have it up at $24.95, but look at that wood. All the little rusty nails, all those little tiny holes up there in the top, and the color. This is a color that is a great transition from Christmas over into winter. I know by the end of the Christmas season, I have had enough of red and green and glitter like in my face, and I want to mute things back down to like soft greens and grays and whites. Sorry, I got distracted by a comment there. Squirrel. What'd Jane say? She can't help with the game. I thought she knew what it was. Yeah, I don't know. I'll research it. I'll let y'all know. I'll put it in community or something. All right, 2 more things, and then we will paint this milk crate or cola crate. I don't think this is a milk crate. Has some great yellow chippy paint on it. And it has a few more holes than normal. So this is like a 24-hole crate. But look at that gorgeous, gorgeous paint on it. These usually sell pretty well for me. Not super fast. Sometimes they take a couple of weeks. But once somebody finds them that likes the color on them, they go pretty quick. So I thought this yellow would be good. Moving into spring and eventually summer. I know it's probably not perfect for right now, but I'm always thinking ahead. And I think some of y'all decorate with yellow all year round. Let me know if you do. And I have it up at $26.95. It came from Charlie's. Last item for the week is this gorgeous metal basket. I imagine this was probably from a refrigerator. Usually when they're this shape and they've got the handles, they were old fridge baskets. This one was marked $2.50 and I have it up at $29.95. Look at that gorgeous patina on the metal. I like to keep these, say, in the bathroom, a couple of little towels in them, but then you can also stick smaller things like some bubble bath or Epsom salts in them because you can see through it. And then it keeps everything nice and organized in one little spot and you can see what you have. Crafting it up in creations. You have an order that hasn't shipped out yet. Can I combine them? I'll combine them for you. No problem. Hey, Miss Sarah C. You are always so sweet. Maisie is currently actually begging for food and not bothering me today. Melissa, you missed most of the haul, but I'm going to paint a little bit today. So you can go back and catch the replay on the haul. Okay, first thing we're going to start with today. Like I said, I grabbed... Oh, wait. We're going to paint in 1 second. I forgot. I did not stick the stuff up on the table. So when I was at Major Thrift, I picked up a bed frame, and then when I was at the Giving Tree, I picked up a vintage crib because y'all sold me out of spindles again. So I wanted to show you these. I went ahead and chopped everything up already. I've got some fun spindles up. Crafting it up. What is your name, darn it? You told me once. Is it Janet? Let me scroll back. Janet. Yes. Haha, I remembered. Janet, I use Shopify, and I love it. It is very easy to maneuver. If you like the way my website looks right now, thank you, because it's kind of a mess. I need to work on it a little bit. But Shopify makes it super easy to keep things organized, and their support, like their phone support, is amazing. Okay, these I love. These are spindle posts with indentions. Is what I have them listed up as. These are great for decor boards. You can slap that bad boy on top of a piece of wood, and it makes a great handle. So all kinds of good stuff. And I went ahead and put these in the haul collection, but they're also in the salvaged wood collection. Look at these posts. Super distressed. These would make gorgeous candlesticks. You could also cut these up and they make great ornaments. So if y'all have been looking for spindles and wood salvage, it is restocked. These are great. I love the flat on the one end here and then the nice base on the bottom. These would be great with a wood round on them. How cute is that little finial piece? I was thinking this looks like a lantern. How cute would it be to hand paint this into a lantern? So anyways, I won't bore you with too much, but I wanted to let you know. And then these pieces came off of the crib, and my friend Jasmine had an amazing idea that I'm going to make into a wood DIY video. I'm not going to tell you what. It's going to have to be a surprise. It'll be up in the next couple of weeks or so. But what do you think? I want to know. What do you think I'm going to use these for? Drop me a comment. I'm curious. Okay, just wanted to let y'all know wood is restocked since I couldn't drag a whole baby crib in here and chop it up on a Saturday morning live. Okay, now we're going to paint. So I grabbed these very, very ugly, very outdated curtain rods, but I do like the artichoke shape. I just don't like the gold. Okay, Jane says she's been eyeing the spindles, y'all, so you better go grab some if you want some before they're all Jane's. So, instead of having ugly gold artichokes, I want to make some beautiful copper artichokes. Deborah requested, and somebody else asked too, Deborah, that I use the Pennies from Heaven. This is the DIY copper patina. And the shipwrecked wax, which is like a verdigris wax. If y'all haven't used the DIY patinas before, they are an all-in-one product. So that means they have a built-in sealer. Once I put this on and it dries, it is sealed up for good. I don't need to wax or clear coat over this. That needed stirred. I won't need to wax or clear coat over this. It will seal itself up. So I just have a little artist brush here, and I'm going to go over it. It might take a couple coats to get full coverage. So y'all drop me a comment. Let me know if you have used the patinas before. There is, of course, the crystal clear chandelier. It is clear, and it's a great decoupage medium. That's what I use to decoupage with. There's golden ticket, which is a gold patina. And then there's this Pennies from Heaven. It's the copper. And there is also a gray, which is old and gray, and then dark and decrepit. So there's a lot of the liquid patinas. And I don't hear about them as much as I hear about the DIY paint. Oh, Deborah got the pin cushion. Jane's hyperventilating. Jane, take a deep breath. There's enough salvage for everybody. There's some really good pieces up. I don't blame you. I went ahead and listed them. That way y'all can have first pick, and then I will be using some for DIYs too. Even though it's so cold right now, I'm ready for spring already, so I can get back out in the garage and make wood projects. I'm glad you got that pin cushion, Deborah. I went back and forth. The $5 price tag on it really turned me off at first, but I have to remember out at Charlie's that not everything's marked. And when they price things at the front, they do a great job. They don't overprice things, even though they know I'm a reseller. And that I can find some really good prices on things there. So if I'm paying up a little bit for some things, I don't mind as much. Does that make sense? Anyways, I was about to pass on the pin cushion. I'm glad I didn't. I knew somebody would love it. Okay, so after one coat here, we're still looking pretty wild, pretty gold. I'm going to dry this up just a little bit with my heat gun so we can speed the process up. Deborah's still waiting for winter. I know, it's really not that cold out. I shouldn't be complaining. Dry this up a little bit with my heat gun. Be careful when you dry the patinas. Since they have a built-in top coat, they can bubble. They're not as easy to dry as the DIY paint. You really got to keep your heat gun moving. Deborah's AC is on. Goodness gracious. Where do you live, Deborah? I can't remember. I've shipped you a couple things, but I can't recall. The Lacy Susan is really nice for when you're heat gunning things to keep them constantly moving. And for smaller things so you don't burn your fingers off. So I'm going to end up using the Pennies from Heaven on these artichokes, and then when I have a warmer day again, I will take the rods outside and I'll probably just spray paint them black to kind of go with my industrial farmhouse theme in my own home. All right, so I'm going to go in with a second coat. I guess I can show you. With just one coat, you still have a lot of that gold peeking through. It's looking kind of like rose gold right now. So after today's live, I am going to go shopping. Shocking. Lorraine is in town and we are going to go out. She didn't get to go with me last week because she wasn't feeling well. And I missed my little thrifting buddy. So we're going to go out. We're going to do some more shopping. Is there anything y'all want me to look for this week? I'll check for some roosters. Does anybody have any requests? Louisiana, that's right, Deborah. Of course it's still hot there. Is it, does it get cold? Does it get cold in Louisiana? Do y'all even really get winter? So if y'all don't have any real specific requests for thrifting, I need for myself this week, and I might not find it at the thrift store, I might have to go somewhere else, but I need a new bathroom rug. I usually don't thrift rugs. I need a new hair curler, and I think I'm going to get something fancy. I'm going to get like a wand, a curling wand, instead of a curling iron. It's a little different. So I'm going to look for that stuff. For work, I'm going to start thinking more about winter decor. So transitioning from Christmas to winter. I still love to use trees. in my winter decor, and I still love to use deer. But start to kind of tone back some of the colors. Okay. January and February, it gets cold in Louisiana. I would be perfectly happy if those were the only 2 cold months I had. Making me dizzy. Alright, let that cool down for just a second. I need to grab a paper towel, I forgot. 1 second. Sorry about that. I always forget at least one thing. Okay, so now that's dry. We've got 2 coats of that gold, or that copper on. That's what it's looking like versus the gold. Now, this copper color is like a really, like, new copper, not a older copper. So I like to use dark wax with it as well. You don't have to. If you like that real bright copper, you can stop at that step. But I like mine to look a little more aged. So I use artist brushes a lot when I'm doing these tiny little detailed wax work, but I try not to use my nice brushes because it's kind of hard on them. Lacey loves the cooler months and she doesn't get many in Arizona. Do you want to trade? We can trade. You can come live here in winter and I'll go stay where it's nice and warm. All right, so this has a built-in sealer. I can take some of this wax and go straight over it and it's not going to absorb the same way it does into that clay-based paint. So I'm just going to take a nice amount of this dark wax and cram it down into all those low points. I will work probably, like half of the thing at a time, half the piece at a time, just so I don't make a huge mess. Instead of covering the whole thing with wax. Okay, so now we're looking like that. I'm going to take just a regular paper towel and wipe it off of the high points. That way all that's left is the dark wax down in the low spots. This was still a little warm, so it's melting. 1 second. Let your piece cool all the way down before you wax. All right, there we go. So now we've got that really, really shiny copper, but with a little bit of dark wax, it really tones it back and makes it look like more of a tarnished copper. Y'all, I got junk everywhere. Kicking junk, I'm tripping on junk. All right, so let's finish the other half, and I will, off camera too, do this little bottom gold part. Once I get these all hung up, I'll stick a picture up in community. It's probably going to take a few days though, I'm not going to lie. My own projects never take priority. But now that I don't have a booth, I will have more time to work on my own home and make content of what I do here. So if y'all have been following me since the beginning, I have always had a retail booth here in Topeka at the Owl's Nest. And November was my last month there. I'm taking a break from the booth thing right now because I don't have enough time. I'm only one person and my online business is taking off like crazy. I wasn't able to keep it stocked up very well anymore. I wasn't able to get up there as much to refresh it. And so therefore I wasn't making as much money at my booth as I used to. Totally my own doing, just not enough time. So I pulled out of that for now. to focus on my online stuff. And if I can focus on my online stuff and grow my business even more, then I can hire some help to help with things like shipping and inventory. And then I can do more things like start another retail space. So 'tis the season, but I should have more time to do more home decorating videos for y'all. Look how much prettier that is. So we've got the same concept, right? That they had before. They had the gold, they had the dark and down in the crevices, but the copper is so much better than the gold, in my opinion. In my opinion. Now, we are going to take this another step, and I'm going to use some of the shipwrecked wax. So this is supposed to mimic like some good old patinaed copper. Like this. I meant to grab this before too, sorry. The shipwrecked wax does not get enough credit or love or screen time. It is a highly underrated DIY product. It has that same great consistency as all of the waxes too. It's very, very soft, which makes it so easy to work with. So I'm just going to take some, I've got an angle brush here, and I'm going to really stick it down just in some very specific low points. You don't want to do too much, just a little bit. And it really starts to give it that old world copper feel. So I know I had a couple people asking about these products, the patina and the teal wax. It's so fun to play with. I recommend using it on stuff that has a little more detail. So you can really, really highlight the details with that wax. What do we think? What do we think? Deborah wanted to see it in action. She was thinking about purchasing some, but she wanted to see how it worked. What do you think so far, Deborah? Now, since I've got dark wax on here too, I've got to be careful and not to overwork my waxes right now. If I weren't on camera, I would probably let that dark wax dry overnight before I went in with the teal. And I'm not going to mess with it too much because I don't want them to start to blend together, and then it's just going to be muddy. But also with this wax, you know, you can create a little bit of texture with it, and then once it dries, it really doesn't go anywhere. I mean, I'm not saying put like a huge glob of wax on there, but I'm like stippling just a little bit, which really helps mimic that verdigris. You can tell that verdigris has a lot of texture to it. So what do we think? Improvement or still ugly? I know that the artichoke is not everybody's favorite. And if you still think it's ugly, don't answer. If you have nothing nice to say, let's just not say anything. Oh, I'm kidding. I love this. And I had downsized most of my copper collection, but here recently I started finding a few of the really cool pieces again. I like the really patinaed copper, so I've started building my collection up again, and I thought these would be just a nice little detail to tie it into my living room. Most of what I have is in my kitchen. Deborah's leaving to make another order. I think she likes it. Sweet. I'm glad I gave you a chance to see it in action. And Deborah, what are you planning to use it on? You might not be here right this second. You might be shopping, but drop me a comment. Let me know. And then I want to see pictures. So very, very fun. Again, there's gold, there's copper, there's gray, dark, and clear in this patina line. And as far as the waxes go, there's clear, white, dark, black, teal, and then you can make almost any color wax you want with the DIY clear wax just by adding a little drop of the DIY paint in, mixing it in. You could have cherry picked wax, you could have aviary wax, you could have old 57 wax, so totally fun. Do we have any questions? I've been on for an hour now. Any questions about any of the products, any of the flips, any of the finds? I'm going to drop the link to the collection one more time here before I hop off today. In case you're just hopping on or you're catching the replay, it'll be easy to find. Nancy loves anything copper, especially if it has patina. You're my kind of girl, Nancy. All right, I'm not seeing many questions. I will have an edited video up this week. Thrift flips for sure. Oh, and then a wood video too. So 2 videos coming up this week on my channel. I hope to, I'll have a question. I'll answer you in just a second, Susie. I hope to go live on Facebook a couple of times too. Like I said, now that I am home working full time, I should be putting up a lot more content. So I appreciate y'all so much. Susie said, I bought this amazing huge copper bin. How do I clean the dirt off? So I would suggest if it's just dirt, just hot water and a wash rag and wipe it down, right? I mean, if it's just dirt, if it's a little bit more than that, I love Dawn Power Wash to clean my old gross junk. It's a really concentrated Dawn and a spray thing. If you're wanting to like maybe clean the copper up a little bit, like not shine it completely, but just clean it up, you could use a mixture of fresh lemon juice and salt. She doesn't want to ruin the patina. So the lemon juice and the salt has the potential to take the patina off. I would do as much as you can with just hot water and a rag, and it should be good. Maybe throw a little bit of Dawn dish soap. I use Dawn dish soap on almost all of my thrift finds that I need to clean. It's gentle but effective. Jane just says she bought a bunch of wood. Yay! I can't wait to see what you make, Jane. She said thanks for finding it and cutting it up. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. I know a lot of y'all can't find that great wood salvage. So thanks again for hopping on. I have some good content coming up this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to go shopping. I will put some little sneak peeks up over on Facebook and Instagram of what I find today. So if y'all aren't following me there, be sure to do so. If you like today's video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, share it out to a friend. And if you haven't, subscribe, hit the notification bell to all so you don't miss any new videos. I will see y'all soon. Bye, friends.